Okay, we're back. Let me back up here a little bit. I left off talking about berries. Raspberries, strawberries, and blackberries are not true berries. Don't get it wrong on your test or quiz, please. Even though we a lot of times refer to berries as a fruit that is soft, a fruit that is juicy, and a fruit that's sweet. And that's why we like to talk about strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries as being berries. But botanically speaking, they're not a berry at all. And I'll get back to that in a little while. Real berries are divided into three categories: true berries, pepos, and hesperidia. And some of these, you're going to be like, that's a berry? That's crazy, because they don't seem like a berry at all, based on the definition we usually use for berries. Okay, here's the definition of a berry. They have a thin skin. Their pericarp is soft at maturity. The fruit is derived from a single pistil. They're a simple fruit. And many seeds. The only exceptions of many seeds are avocados and dates. Avocados and dates are still considered to be a berry, but they don't have multiple seeds. They're the only two. If you chop something open and it's got multiple seeds inside, it is a berry. Almost always. I shouldn't say almost always, because you got pomes you have pomes, which also have multiple seeds. But in a lot of your fruits that you break open and there's multiple seeds in, you're like, oh, this might be a berry. Pretty good chance it is. Examples of true berries are gooseberries, currants, huckleberries, and cranberries. Okay? And some of these are actually called berries, and they really are a berry. Uncommon berries, tomatoes. Tomato is a berry. It's soft all the way through. It has a soft exocarp, and it has multiple seeds. Even though it's really not sweet, that's not one of the criteria for a berry. Grapes are berries. Now, a lot of times you get seedless grapes, but if we go ahead and look at seeded grapes, they have 3 or 4 or 5 seeds in each grape. Peppers, soft at maturity, thin exocarp, lots of seeds. Pomegranates, soft at maturity, okay, lots of seeds, and fits all the criteria. Avocados have a single seed, but they are a berry. Bananas, okay, if you open up a banana, you see all those little black specks inside of the banana. Those are seeds, and most of those seeds are actually immature seeds. They don't develop. But bananas have lots of seeds inside, and they are soft skin, soft mesocarp, multiple seeds. Eggplants, raspberries, strawberries, blackberries are not berries. Avocados and dates, the way they're different than a drupe, they don't have that stone. They don't have that stony endocarp. Okay, so as far as true berries go, true berries, soft exocarp, soft at maturity, multiple seeds. Pepos. A pepo is a berry that has a thicker exocarp, a rind, okay? Cucumbers are an example of a pepo. They have a thicker exocarp. A lot of times we peel this off, sometimes we don't. But then they have a soft mesocarp, lots of seeds. Pumpkins have a very thick rind, right? My family, we do sugar pumpkins. We grow sugar pumpkins every year. And our sugar pumpkins, we love them because we make our own homemade pumpkin pie. Absolutely amazing. It is so much better than the stuff that you buy in the store. But they have a very thick rind, and after we cook the pumpkins, we scrape off the inside, and you're left with that thick rind on the outside. All squashes have a thick rind, soft mesocarp at maturity, not relatively soft, and then lots of seeds. Cantaloupe, watermelon, all of these are considered pepos. They are a type of berry. Is that not strange? Hesperidia is our third category. Hesperidia are berries with a leathery skin. We can peel this leathery skin off. Examples. Oh, and the leathery skin contains lots of oils. Oranges. Oranges have that peel that we peel off, and that peel is makes it in this category, puts this category. They also have multiple carpels. So each segment of an orange is an individual carpel. Lemons, limes, grapefruit, kumquats. If you've ever had a kumquat, they're really fun. Kumquat is a very small orange, super sweet, and you eat the whole thing, peel and all. The peel is very thin. Okay? All of these would be considered Hesperidia. And to make it easy, Hesperidia are all your citrus fruits. Lemons, limes, your kumquats, oranges, okay, grapefruit, all of these, okay? And there's a few others out there as well. Okay, so just to recap, your berries are divided into three categories. True berries have a very thin exocarp, very soft mesocarp, multiple seeds. Pepos have a thick exocarp, have a rind. They're at maturity, when they're fully mature, their mesocarp is pretty soft and they have lots of seeds. And then the third is going to be your Hesperidia, and they are all your citrus fruits. Okay, let's talk about aggregate fruits. Aggregate fruits differ from our other simple fleshy fruits in that aggregate fruits are made up of multiple small fruits put together. So these are like raspberries and blackberries. There are lots of little fruitlets all together into a single fruit. So some examples. So each individual, they have multiple pistils, and each pistil is going to grow into a tiny little druplet. Okay? So for example, raspberries and blackberries, they're made from a head inflorescence, and each individual flower becomes an individual little fruitlet, or in this case, a little druplet. Holy crap. Okay, so let's think about this for a second. They're a drupe. They're more closely related to a drupe. It's like a whole bunch of drupes stuck together. What do we remember about drupes? Drupes have a stony endocarp. Drupes have a stony endocarp. Meaning, if I were to take the seed out of a raspberry or out of a blackberry, I'm actually not taking out a seed. I'm taking a little pit. And if I break it open, then you would have a tiny seed inside of that pit, which is really interesting because raspberries and blackberries are more similar to a peach than they are to anything else. Think of them as multiple little tiny peaches all stuck together to form a single fruit. A thimbleberry is another example. Thimbleberries, I put it on here, they grow wild up in the mountains over on the east side. They're all over the place. They have a bright red berry that looks just like a raspberry, and they are super tart. So if you ever get a chance to try a thimbleberry in the fall or in the late summer, they're delicious. They're really great. They look just like a miniature raspberry, bright red, scarlet red. Okay, aggregate fruits. An aggregate fruit, the example I'm going to give you is a strawberry. Okay? Okay, so here's where it gets weird. Each individual seed on the outside of a strawberry is the fruit. The red part of the strawberry is the receptacle. If you've ever cut open a large strawberry, you've noticed that the inside's hollow. So what happens is that's the base. The strawberry itself, the red part of a strawberry, is the base of the flower. that's gotten very big, and then it's got lots of little seeds out on the surface. Each of those seeds is a fruit. So we call this an aggregate fruit. Okay, we do consider strawberries to be a fruit. However, here comes the kicker. If we were to speak botanically, a strawberry really should be considered a vegetable, just like an apple or a pear, because you are not after the fruit itself when you eat it, you're after a flower part, which is a vegetable, like cauliflower or broccoli. So it's like you're eating the base of the flower that turns bright red and gets sweet, and that's what we're after. Kind of a weird thought. Now, in our class, we will consider a strawberry to be a fruit, not a vegetable, but botanically speaking, maybe it should be considered a vegetable because you're not actually after the fruit. The fruit are the seeds out on the surface. The red part is the receptacle of the flower. If you want to think of the seeds of, in fact, the seeds of a strawberry are in the same category as sunflower seeds. So if I took a seed off of a strawberry and I cracked it open, there would be a seed inside of that. And they are in the exact same group as sunflower seeds are. So really, if you think about it, when you eat a strawberry, it's like eating tons, each little seed is like an individual little sunflower stuck in a fruit. Very strange. Okay, last category of fleshy fruits is this: multiple fruits. Multiple fruits are fruits that they develop from individual flowers, kind of like a strawberry kind of like a raspberry or blackberry, but instead of growing from a head inflorescence, they grow from generally a spike inflorescence. Okay? Each individual fruit has its own receptacle, which means in a raspberry or strawberry, the receptacle, on a raspberry or blackberry, when you pull the raspberry off, you leave the receptacle behind. That's the little part that's left after you pull the fruit off. You can't do that with these because each individual flower, each individual fruit is stuck on to a center core. So this will make sense here in a second. And it's usually a spike inflorescence. So if you look at this picture over here, and hopefully you can see that a little bit, this is a mulberry flower or a mulberry inflorescence. As a stem that goes up, all these flowers are coming off. It's a spike inflorescence, and then each one of these individual flowers will develop into an individual little fruitlet. If you've ever had a mulberry, so let me put this back on here. There. If you've ever had a mulberry, first of all, I really like mulberries. They're delicious. They're very sweet. Birds love mulberries, especially robins. Oh my gosh, robins love mulberries. Problem with the mulberries is they make big messes. If you have one of these next to a sidewalk, you will end up with red stained sidewalk all over. If you walk on the berries that have fallen off the tree, you can track them into the house. They make a huge mess, but they're delicious. A mulberry, when you eat the fruit, you'll pick off the berry. You can't pull the berry off the stem. Each individual little part of the berry is attached onto the stem very tightly. So what you do is you take the whole thing, you put it in your mouth, you chew it up, and then you spit out the stem. Okay? You don't want to swallow the whole thing. They're a very strange fruit. Here's another one. Pineapples. Love pineapple. Roasted pineapple, by the way, grilled pineapple, fantastic. Okay, pineapples. This is a pineapple flower. And if you notice, what it is it's a spike. In fact, the green part that's growing out of the top of the pineapple plant, that green portion there is the top of the spike. And there is a stem that goes down through with all of these flowers that come off, all these purple flowers that come off. When these flowers become pollinated, each individual flower turns to a fruit that is attached onto that stem. So, if you notice with a pineapple, there will be a hard core to the pineapple. That's because that's the stem that grew up through with the little fruitlets coming off all the way around. Okay? It is a multiple fruit. Okay? And if you have a fresh pineapple at home, you usually cut off. You've got these flower scars out here, so it's an inferior fruit. You cut all those off, and then you're going to cut the pineapple off of its core. And every pineapple will have a hard core in the center, which is the stem that went up through the fruit. By the way, there's lots of YouTube tutorials on how to grow a pineapple plant from just this top part. So you can actually take this top part of a pineapple, you can cut it off, you can put it in water, it'll start to grow roots, and you can grow your own pineapple plant from the top of a pineapple. Okay, that is it for our fleshy fruits. I know it's a ton of material. I really recommend that you take really good notes over this section. There is a lot of material. There's going to be a number of worksheets and things that you're going to do that are going to be on Canvas that'll help you get ready for your tests and quizzes. Please watch the due dates on all this stuff. Make sure you have everything turned in on time. I won't accept any late work. And best of luck to you. Remember the PowerPoint's on there as well, so if you want to go back through all this, feel free, and good luck, everybody.